What's up guys, this is Sean and welcome to another episode of the iherng podcast, and today we will answer some questions from email. This is from Bernard. Hi bro, came across your YouTube video and would like to seek for your advice on real estate investing. I bought a corner lot house in 2015 at 330,000 and currently valued at 550,000. Spoken to the bank staff and I'm capable of cashing out 150,000 through top up. Should I or shouldn't I withdraw out for real estate investment? Haven't involved in any kind of real estate investment yet and I'm 34 years old this year. Kinda late, but never too late to start, right? And subscribe to your channel. Hope to hear from you soon. Regards, Bernard. So first of all, thank you very much, Bernard, for subscribing to the channel, also following up and ask this question, right? So the question is whether should he take up the refinancing offer because he can cash out 150,000. So for those who don't understand what that means is this particular audience bought the house at 2015 at 330,000, right? So at 2021, now the house is worth 550,000. But the banker says he gets to cash out 150,000. What that means? It means that there's a difference between how much he owes the bank versus how much the property is valued at in the market today. So a common mistake that a lot of people do when they want to think about refinancing is they forget that usually banks take up only 80% of the property value. It means, let's say 550,000 maximum, they will let you cash out 80% of it, which is 440,000. So for 440,000, the banker says he gets to take out 150,000. It means that the outstanding balance from the audience to the bank is only 290,000. So if I were to push this property to another bank, says that I want to take a loan on this, he gives me 440,000. I will need to settle this remaining outstanding debt with the earlier bank, and I will have this 150,000 in cash form. And it depends on what I need to do with it, right? So a lot of people then use this to do several things. Number one, because of the current situation of interest is rather low, which is around maybe 2.9, maybe 3%. And for those who still think that it's very high, right? Do check into the historical interest rates in Malaysia, or do check with your credit cards, or do check with personal loan or whatever loan, right? 3% is really hard to find. Therefore, a lot of people use housing loan as a form of capital with the lowest interest rate. So now the question on whether should you take up the offer for buying another property, right? 150,000 is sensible if you use it to buy a sub-sale property that is already making money. It means, let's say this particular property is 500,000 and the ROI for it is more than 3%, let's say 5%, right? It means for every month the renter can cover the installment and even slightly more. Then to me that's a good buy, and 150,000 you use to put it as down payment plus makeover plus valuation plus maintenance fee plus everything, right? Then it kind of makes sense. If this money is spent to acquire assets that are already making money, then by all means go ahead. But if you're trying to do this as a bet, right? If you see like just that cryptocurrency is going to the moon now and you don't want to miss it, then you want to take 150,000 to pour in. It's kind of dangerous because for this 150,000, although it's low interest, but you still need to pay for the interest. It means for the new refinancing rate of 440,000, right? Your monthly installment now is calculated based on the new 440,000 instead of the 290,000 that you previously owe. That's something you really need to understand first, because a lot of people just take up, oh, I got cash. They forget that this is actually future money. Some of the people I know, they use this money to run their business, because in comparison to a business loan which is around 11-12%, this 150,000 is used to run as cash flow at an interest rate of 3%. So it's very sensible to do so. And even if this 150,000 go kaboom, they can manage the extra installment amount. So that's why they do that. Then another scenario to this, right, is when this particular property, let's say your corner lot, right, has a rental of 1,500, for example. So even if you take a 440,000 loan, your monthly installment is around 1,338 something lah, right? It's around there. Assuming you can still take maximum tenure of loan. So the 1,500 rental can cover that 1,300 installment and surplus, right? By all means, take it. So in other words, if you will continue to pay the 290,000 loan, every month it's around 1,000. So let's say if this house is rented out at 1,500, you will have a surplus of 500 every month. That's good, right? Very good. Another way to look at it is, now I would refinance to an amount where the monthly installment is equivalent to the rental. So you reverse calculate and you take out maybe 440,000, which is what you're doing right now. 440,000 monthly installment is around 1,300, 1,400, but the rental is 1,500. So now instead of every month surplus of 500, now you only surplus maybe like $100, right? But in your bank, suddenly you have 150,000 cash, and you can use that to acquire another property where it makes sense, where it makes money. And this is how we should leverage on our existing portfolio to really dig out capital and to plow in another portion. So let's say if it's your third property as well, for any other audience, right? Let's say it's your third property, fourth property, right? Do check your property 1, 2, and 3, whether are they positive or what's their value like in the market right now. Because a consideration to make also for certain people is there will be situations where I can withdraw out extra 200,000 in cash, but every month instead of a positive cash flow property, suddenly now it becomes negative where I need to put in extra $200. It's going to be a very interesting conversation when 200,000 in cash, but I'll need to just pay back 200 every month. So now it depends on what you do with the money, and a lot of people unfortunately have no idea what to do with capital. And that's also the question for Bernard. What are you going to do with the 150,000? Are you going to buy something sub-sale where it can immediately make money? Then go ahead, right? If you are just trying luck, see you want to buy a home, yeah, that is also something to consider, because a lot of people have no idea what to do with money. Suddenly you have this amount of money, right? Suddenly your lifestyle follows in parallel to the money you have in the bank, and suddenly they forget that this 100 over 1,000 is future money, not the money that you actually have. Ultimately, this is the beauty in real estate investment. It means that I'm paying for something that will gradually increase in value in the future. That's why now if I were to pay monthly installment for something that will increase in value, it makes a lot of sense. And that's also the reason why I don't spend a lot in cars lah. And I guess that's all for Bernard, right? So the key question is, let's say if you take out this amount of money, this house, is it own stay or is it rented out? So if it's rented out at 1,500, by all means take the money and figure out what to do with it, right? The other side, if it's for own stay, then you need to really think about it, because there will be an extra amount for your monthly installment right now. So do you want to consider getting yourself more debt? Another thing to consider also, are you comfortable in your career situation right now? If you are like the blue eye boy of the company, you're hitting marks, then maybe can. But if you're looking out, maybe you want to scratch that entrepreneurial itch that you often have, maybe this can be your capital, or maybe not, because you don't want to get into another form of debt before you start your business. So that's something to also think about. And I think that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for asking. And there's an announcement to be made here today. Because of the very, very kind audience, you guys send me a lot of emails every day. Unfortunately, I do not have the capabilities nor the time to answer all of that, right? I'm very sorry. Therefore, I'm very worried about what goes to all those questions. So I will be collaborating with probably Guru. They have this website called the Ask Guru session where you can pop up your questions there, and there will be relevant experts to help answer your questions. And by the end of every month, I will be hosting a Facebook Live, and I will be answering questions there as well. So if you really want me to answer your question, maybe you can pop up there, or you are just here to ask for a second opinion on an expert. It may be tax or loan officer or location expert or whatsoever, right? Do check out our website. I'll put their link down below. And I think that's all for today. Thank you very much, and see you guys on the next one. Ciao.